Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, April 5th, and today we'll cover the trades for TSLY, MSTY, CONY, and NVDY. So, only two of the four had trades yesterday, which was Thursday, April 4th, which was also ex-dividend date, but the same two as the day prior. So TSLY and MSTY had trades, so we'll start with those two. So right now on the screen is what you see is TSLY. So basically they had some contracts left over to sell calls on, and they decided to use them yesterday. And for whatever reason, it's split up into two transactions. However, it's the exact same execution price and exact same strike price and obviously same expiration date. So maybe they did it at different times and maybe they got the exact same price. I have no idea. But either way, I combined it when it came to the spreadsheet because everything is the same. So let's go to the spreadsheet. So they added nothing to either synthetic. Again, currently they have two synthetic positions. 30,325 of the contracts are in the 175 synthetic position, which right now would cost them $8.1 million a close. But again, both of these expire on May 17th, so kind of irrelevant to even speak of until we get closer to that date. Here's the 170 synthetic. This has 11,635 contracts. This one's actually making money right now because it's if they closed it, they could make 2.6 million. But again, kind of irrelevant since it expires later on. By the way, I'm back to my cold garage, back to normal. All right, so how did Tesla do yesterday? Tesla actually went up. The market was really, really crazy yesterday. I think the whole thing with what the Fed is saying with interest rates is affecting everything. At first they're saying 3 cuts and then they're saying maybe not. So it's like a game. It's pretty ridiculous, honestly. But either way, I guess that's why the market went crazy yesterday from what I understand. But Tesla stayed green. Tesla went up 1.62%. TSLY went down 2.96%. Because again, yesterday was ex-dividend date. So all in all, TSLY had a decent day. So here's the contracts they added. They added 20,980 contracts with, a 182.50 strike. That's 6.66% out of the money. So since they still have today, that's for 6 trading days. So they're leaving a chance for 1% gain per day. And they're chasing, with that call, they're making a 1% return. So if you look at yesterday's, they're making 1.53% return, and they went 2.45% out of the money. So yeah, the closer to the money you go, the higher the return you can get. So anyway, let's keep moving on. Outstanding shares went up about 200,000. Cash still in the negative, but overall cash and treasuries up 6.8 million. Now, total income for the weekly calls for TSLY is at 9 million already. Total distribution from the 9 million is 20 cents. Daily income, 10 cents. Daily yield, 0.66%. If you annualize that, that's 240% annualized yield. But again, that will change and that will go down in time. They just happen to have a lot of weekly calls to be made in the beginning of the month we're tracking. Active tab, that position like we just spoke about, that was close to the money. Since Tesla went up, that's in danger now. And unfortunately, that still has 6 trading days left. So we now have 20,980 contracts with a 172.50 strike, 0.81% out of the money. So that one is surely in danger. And the other one is 20,980 contracts, 182.50 strike, 6.66% out of the money. See, at least this is why they split up the 2 contracts. It was smart to wait. They could have done it in 3s, to be honest, because they had, 2 more days left. They'd do one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, one on Friday, because if Tesla goes up today, that one could eventually be blown out too, but you never know. Tesla is not known for going up lately, so I can understand, their point at right now. Tesla price is 170 111, 30-day IV 54%. Tesla price is 1508. Potential capital gains going into next week, 56 cents. I just left the green ball because it's nice to see some green on Tesla. I'm not going to give them a bad face because it's still way too early. Again, I know the one call or the one strike is in danger, but a lot can happen in 6 days. Earnings date did change. Thanks to Tara Slayer for letting me know in the Discord. And it changed to April 23rd. I don't know why, but it was a prior date, and I had waited to sell calls and sell puts over the old earnings date. Surely enough, I should have just done it, and I would have got free IV. Because now, if it wouldn't have mattered, right? Earnings wouldn't have happened, but I would have got the IV at the time when the earnings was originally scheduled for an earlier date, but I did not. Curve added some contracts. They added about 23 contracts, so they now have 101 contracts. Same strike, 210 strike, 22% out of the money. That expires May 17th. So it's good to see people still buying into Curve. Payment details, again, I'm going to have to, I always talk about this. Let me just do it right now. Freeze row. There you go. Short call income, 9 million. Basically, total income, 9 million, 20 cents as we spoke. But again, too early to talk about payment details. Outstanding holdings. Even the calls in blue, they expire next week, so kind of irrelevant. And as far as the synthetics, they expire May 17th, so also irrelevant to speak of. So let's just look at the net asset value, 688.8 million. The NAV is 1510 and the trade price is 1508, so you get a 2-cent discount at the moment. All right, so that's TSLY. Let's go to the pre-market. I did not really look at this at all. Sometimes I look ahead just to see, but I did not get a chance to today. Okay, Tesla is up by 0.54% in the green pre-market. Right now it's 5:50, approximately 5:50 a.m. So, yeah, not bad. We'll take it, right? All right, so who else had a trade? MSTY had a trade. 3 transactions, so more of the same. A lot of people jumped in on ex-dividend date. 130 contracts they added to the synthetic, 130 contracts they added to the weekly calls. So it was a good day for MSTY. Here we go. So MSTY has only just the 1700 synthetic position. They added 130 contracts, which brings them up to 470 contracts in total. Right now, they're priced just under the 1700 strike of the synthetic, and that expires on April 19th. So they do have some time, but right now they're not making money off of it as of just yet. But MSTR has kind of been finally stuck at a range, and this is the range it's kind of been stuck at, the 1600 range so far. All right, so MSTR actually stayed green yesterday in the disaster of a market yesterday. It went up 0.84%. MSTY went down 8.78%, again, because ex-dividend date. They added the 130 contracts with a 1920 strike, 18.85% out of the money. This one expires on April 12th, and they got 3.28% return. So just look at that. They went 18% out of the money, and they got a 3.28% return. Much different, than when we look at, TSLY, for example. What'd they go? 6% out of the money. They got 1%. So it's like, it's crazy. They can, the further you go out of the money, typically your yield gets less and less. But when the IV is just so high, you can get such a good premium. Outstanding shares went up as we spoke. A lot of people bought in. We're now above $2 million. 2 million shares So I don't know if you guys, remember the beginning. It started out slow. To hit the million took a long time, but people are jumping in misty now after they saw that $4 dividend or so. Cash and treasuries went up by 22.3 million. Unbelievable. All right, check this out. Total income from the weekly calls 749,000. Total distribution of ready 35 cents. Daily income 18 cents. Daily yield 0.46% and annualized yield 168%. So, unbelievable. They already made 35 cents. Active tab, here we go. This is a mouthful, but I'll do my best to do it quick. 27 contracts, 1770 strike, 9.57% of the money. That expires today. 49 contracts, 1800 strike, 11.43% out of the money. That expires today. 30 contracts, 1830 strike, 13.28% out of the money. That expires today. 130 contracts, 1920 strike, 18.85% out of the money. That's the new one, and that expires next Friday, April 12th. 195 contracts, 1985 strike, 22.88% out of the money. That expires today. 17 contracts, 2130 strike, 31% out of the money. That expires today. And last but not least, 22 contracts, 2350 strike, 45% out of the money. And that also expires today. Needless to say, they look like they're making money again. They're going to win on the weekly contracts. MSTR price 1615.42, 30-day IV 136%. So that is actually going down. MSTY is at 38.23. Even after ex-dividend date, doesn't even look like I put a dent into it, but it did. Potential capital gains going into next week, 787, and they still remain the money face because all they do is make money on this fund. All right, so short call income, again, that's all they did. No synthetic yet. What was this for? D33. Oh, 39. That's why. Okay, there you go. There is synthetic income. Well, it's a synthetic loss, 23,000. So net income 726,000. So overall 34 cents per share. Again, very early. Here is the holdings. Again, all in blue are the calls. We're not going to go through all that again. One thing I just want to point out, people always see like something like this. I'll zoom in. And they say, oh, this one has an expiration date of April 24th. Keep in mind, that's the month and year. If you want to make sure to get the right expiration date, go over to, the other columns, and you'll see its expiration date in order, and then strike price. Sometimes the format in some columns are a little different, like this one, for example. But if you do see something in 24, that's typically the month and year. So I just wanted to point that out because sometimes people always ask me that. All right, so let's just look at the net asset value. 79.5 million. The NAV is 37.43, and the trade price. Look at this, 38.23. What a ripoff right now. It's like H3 to H15. Yeah, and then you take that and you divide by K, which is the outstanding shares. Okay. Yeah, all right. That's interesting. I'm sure it'll true up at the open, but that is not a discount at the moment. All right, let's take a look at the pre-market numbers for MSTR. It's down 2.07%. It's at 1582. Again, there's room for growth on MSTY because their calls are still pretty far out of the money. We have one trading day on a lot of these contracts. So as a MSTY shareholder, you're rooting for the stock. You're rooting for MSTR to go up today because you have plenty of room to capture potential capital gains and still win the weekly calls. So we'll see what happens though. All right, next let's go to CONY. CONY has a 250 synthetic. And again, no trades for CONY. Their synthetic has 15,875 contracts. Right now, they're actually, coin is priced just below the 250, and it's actually worth money. So that's, you don't see that often, but again, it's kind of tight, high IV. But right now it's worth $746,000. But either way, that expires April 19th, so no need to talk about that too much right now. Coin overall went down yesterday, 0.78%. CONY went down 10.32%. Again, ex-dividend date. They're making a big payment, over $2. So that was a good chance to buy. Outstanding shares went up yesterday. It went up by 1 million, a little more than 1 million. So pretty good. Cash is still negative, but it's moving up. Cash and treasuries overall, they made 27.1 million. Again, that's because new people buying in. So no weekly income yet to talk about. When I say weekly income, I'm talking about the weekly calls. Here's the 4 different strikes they have expiring today, which is April 5th. 600 contracts, 265 strike, 6.17% out of the money. 490 contracts, 270 strike, 8.17% out of the money. 14,360 contracts, 285 strike, 14.18% out of the money. I feel like did I screw that up? I don't know. Either way, 425 contracts, 292.50 strike, 17.18% out of the money. I don't know if I said the 270 strike was 8.17% of the money, but it is. Coin price is 249.61, 30-day IV 96%. CONY price is at 25.82. Again, anything above $20 on these is just, house money, baby. Assuming your average is 20 or around that range. Potential capital gains for today, $3.56 for 1 day. That's amazing. Here's the reaction. CONY fund manager, again, he's just a happy guy, man. No payment information. I'm assuming my formulas are updated, but time will tell. Obviously, the other one wasn't. You can only check them so many times and still get them wrong. So here is what the calls are going to be, how much they pay to close. So you can see they're in the cents, some of them. And, right now they're winning. So we'll see how the day goes, though. Net asset value, 390.9 million. The NAV is 25.81, and the trade price is 25.82, so a penny more. If we go to the pre-market, refresh, let's see. We got, 6 a.m. already? Gotta get to the gym soon. It's down. If Mister's down, you can imagine coin will be down. It's down 1.13%. So coin is at 246.80. Both of these, they have room for movement, but they're both down in pre-market. So we'll see. Maybe things will change. All right, last but not least, we have NVDY, another great performer. No trades, so nothing new for the synthetic, but the synthetic, again, the strike is 9.15. NVIDIA did go down yesterday, so right now their synthetic is going to cost $20.3 million to close. But again, it expires in mid-May, so irrelevant. But they hold 4,070 contracts on the synthetic position. So if we go to the April tab, we can see NVIDIA, I mentioned it went down. It went down 3.44% yesterday. NVIDY went down 12.23%, but NVIDY is also paying, I believe, over $2. So that is why, obviously, there was a dip yesterday from not only NVIDIA, but also from the ex-dividend date. So if you ever had a chance to buy NVIDY, we are getting to that point. Outstanding shares went up, so the interest on all of these funds is growing, certainly on ex-dividend date. And then certainly on declaration date we saw as well. So YieldMax overall as a company, they're sitting pretty, they're making their 0.99% off of a lot of people. Net asset value went up 14.7 million. No weekly income to speak of, but either way, outstanding shares total now 13,675,000. If we go to the active tab, there's 4 strikes. They all expire today. I'll go from lowest to highest. 135 contracts, 930 strike, 8.26% out of the money. 3,725 contracts, 940 strike, that's 9.42% out of the money. And then we have 60 contracts with a 945 strike, that's 10% out of the money. Last but not least, 150 contracts with a 995 strike, 15% out of the money. So here's another one with plenty of room to grow with one trading day. So if you're an NVDY holder, you want NVIDIA to be green today. How green? Well, let's go up 8%. We could do it. We can afford it. 30-day IV is 45.72%, and NVIDIA price 859.05. Potential capital gains today, $2.47. A happy man. NVIDIA fund manager is a happy man. No payment information yet because they haven't made trades since the new month began. Overall, you could see on the blue, these calls cost anywhere from 14 cents to 3 cents to close. So as of right now, they're sitting pretty and they're probably going to win on the weekly calls. Net asset value is 350.1 million. The NAV is 25.61. And then the trade price is showing 25.63. Okay. Now, pre-market, we want to see green as an NVIDIA shareholder. Which we see green, but little green. We are up 0.81%. So NVIDIA at the pre-market is up $800 to $866 even. So we'll take it. So all in all, after our next dividend date, which is typically a red bloodbath, I think all of the funds are doing rather well. And most of the funds have room to grow, at the moment. TSLY not so much because they're capped on half of their contracts. But, they don't really go as far out of the money as some of these other funds because of, they strive for a certain yield, which hurts them sometimes. But overall, I think YieldMax, these funds are doing pretty good. I have no complaints, which is a surprise. The only complaint I saw is that, again, half of the contracts in TSLY are capped. So it is what it is, though. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button to show some love and to prove you made it this far. I'm going to finally get to the gym. I haven't been there in a while, so you can get your ass to the gym or get to the gym, whatever you choose. And that way I know you made it to the end of the video. And as always, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. And now, I'll try to get some other videos out that I'll share on different topics to keep it fun. If you guys have any suggestions, please join the Discord and put it in the YouTube recommendations. Or if you don't want to get Discord, then just put it in the comments of this video. Okay? All right. Thank you all for watching and have a great day. Later.